Hello and welcome to Eye on Africa. I'm Nadia Massi in Paris. Here are the headlines tonight. A 25-year jail sentence for Dominic Ongwen, the former LRA commander, described as both a criminal and a victim by the judge at the ICC. In South Africa, Ace Magashule appeals his suspension from the ANC, saying the corruption charges levelled against him are baseless. And galloping to a better future. Young Senegalese quit school to focus on horse riding, hoping to become the jockeys of tomorrow. Good evening. We start tonight's programme then at the International Criminal Court in The Hague, where child soldier turned Ugandan militia leader Dominic Ongwen has been sentenced to 25 years in prison. It is a landmark judgment and one that comes after Ongwen was found guilty in February on dozens of counts of war crimes and crimes against humanity. When he was 9 years old, Ongwen was abducted by the Lord's Resistance Army, and he went on to become one of its most infamous commanders. In his summing up today, the judge described the case as unique, saying Ongwen was both a criminal and a victim of the LRA. France 34's Nicolas Germain reports.
The International Criminal Court recognised that it was not easy to judge someone like Dominic Ongwen. The Ugandan was forced to become a child soldier, but he later became a rebel commander who committed horrific crimes. The presiding judge said the court was facing a unique situation.
It is confronted with a perpetrator who willfully brought tremendous suffering upon his victims. However, it is also confronted with a perpetrator who himself had previously endured extreme suffering himself at the hands of the group of which he later became a prominent member and leader.
The court decided against life imprisonment and gave him a 25-year sentence for crimes including rape, sexual enslavement, child abduction, torture and murder. In his hometown of Gulu in northern Uganda, residents reacted to the ICC sentence.
Dominic Ongwen should come here and stay here for 5 years, not staying outside there for 25 years.
We forgive him, but to my own opinion, I would say they bring him back home. And then he serves his sentence from back in Uganda and in northern Uganda, not just leaving him there.
Ongwen was abducted as a 9-year-old after the LRA rebels in Uganda killed his parents. He rose to become an LRA commander. The organisation, led by Joseph Kony, has nowadays largely been wiped out. Ongwen surrendered in 2015 to US Special Forces who were hunting Kony. The former child soldier is appealing his conviction.
In other news today, Somalia has resumed diplomatic ties with Kenya. Somalia suspended relations in December last year, accusing Nairobi of meddling in its internal affairs. The neighbours have long-standing disputes over oil and gas in the waters of the Indian Ocean, as well as Kenya's warm relationship with Somaliland. That's a breakaway territory not recognised by Mogadishu. The Gulf state of Qatar has been credited with brokering this reconciliation. The African Union has today praised the United States for its support of patent waivers for coronavirus vaccines. The waivers are being opposed by drug manufacturers, but advocates say they would increase global vaccine production, helping poor countries to immunise their populations. Now, the idea was first floated by South Africa and India at the World Trade Organization last October. And today, South Africa's President, Cyril Ramaphosa, has welcomed the news. Take a listen.
Now we welcome the statement by the United States administration that it will support the TRIPS waiver on intellectual property protection for COVID-19 vaccines. Now, this is a victory for South Africa. It goes to show the influence we have as a country, working together with others, that our voice and messages have weight because they are rational, they are progressive, and they are meant to benefit people on our continent as well as in developing economies around the world.
Well, let's go to South Africa for you now on the programme, where Ace Magashule, the Secretary General of the ANC, is appealing his suspension from the party. and denying the corruption allegations that have been levelled against him. Magashule was suspended yesterday as part of an anti-corruption drive led by President Ramaphosa, who is trying to clean up the image of the party once led by Nelson Mandela. Magashule is charged with embezzling millions of dollars of public funds, but he insists he's done nothing wrong. From Cape Town, Sam Bradpeace reports.
It's like some kind of surreal comedy. Ace Magashule, the Secretary General of South Africa's ruling ANC party, received a letter on Monday informing him that he had been temporarily suspended from his role. Now, what he did next is what's making headlines. He sent a letter of his own to South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, informing the president that it was in fact he who has been temporarily suspended from the party. Now, many South Africans at first thought that this message from Magashule was a joke or some kind of fake that had been posted online on social media to create a buzz. But the ANC have now come out and confirmed that the letter was real and was really sent by Magashule, who, by the way, according to the ANC's constitution, doesn't have the power to order Ramaphosa's suspension from the party. So, I mean, really what this letter will achieve, probably not very much. It might raise some support in favour of Magashule. It might rouse his faction of the ANC, which is rival to the faction of Ramaphosa. But it really doesn't look like it will change very much. For now, it looks like Magashule's fate is sealed. It looks like he will be out of the party for some time. Even if he does appeal, he doesn't really have a majority of support within the party, so it's hard to see how that could go through. And his departure, or temporary departure, really provides a chance for the current president, Cyril Ramaphosa, to consolidate his grip on power within the ANC.
Sam Bradpeace for us there. Now, for many countries on the continent and indeed around the world, football is the national sport. But in Senegal, children are increasingly drawn to another competition, and that's horse riding. They train young, from the age of 10, one day hoping to be international stars. Check it out in this report.
They're barely 10 years old, but here they are with their horses galloping across Senegalese sand. For these children, horse riding brings the hope of a better future. Babacar is 13. This is his first year of training.
When I ride a horse, I'm happy. I think it'll be easier for me to become a jockey than by going to school. One day I'll make it and I'll help my parents out.
In Senegal, jockeys earn on average twice the salary of a civil servant, and youth unemployment is at a very high level.
Allez, on va jusqu'au virage et ensuite on accélère.
So those who are able to get in don't hesitate very long.
Babacar used to come here a lot with his mum. That's how he started horse riding. One day I told her, leave him with us. He's got great potential.
This stud farm in Dakar's suburbs is where the children are trained. They're chosen after they turn 10 and must weigh less than 40 kilograms. The course is free and the children are fed and housed. There's no school though. This is life the hard way. It's race day for Babacar, only his second so far. Here, children try to stand up to experimented adults, like Mohamed Gadiaga, one of the best jockeys in the country. The drums ring out, and it's time for everyone to saddle up and race. The best jockeys quickly stand out. Mohamed Gadiaga wins again. But for Babacar, the race was a cruel disappointment.
I won today, but tomorrow it'll be your turn. All that hard work that brought me here, you have to do the same. Believe in yourself, believe in this job, and you'll make it.
It's a long road to becoming a champion, But each race brings new enthusiasm and creates new dreams of one day becoming #1.
All right, that wraps it up for Eye on Africa. Thank you for watching. The news now continues on France 24. Do stay with us.
From North to South Africa, from Bamako to Nairobi, from Accra to Mogadishu. Bringing you all the political, economic, cultural and social news from Africa for a better insight into an ever-changing continent.
Across Africa, presented by Georgia Calvin-Smith on France 24 and France24.com.